dudes and dudettes? How are you guys? This is Chazzy and welcome back to What's the Damage, the good old WTD question mark here at my channel, the longest running series on this bloody channel. Why did I talk like a Brit just now? Maybe it's because I just finished reviewing Zero Chill, a British TV series, but I don't know what's wrong with me. Today's video is going to be very exciting, a very exhilarating topic, because usually What's the Damage is for me to unleash my rage and anger and give very controversial opinions about stuff and this and that, and well, I'm gonna talk about waiting around in lines. Yep, that's today's topic, man. I'm gonna talk about standing around in lines waiting for stuff to happen because life just passes you by and then you're just sitting there waiting for a bunch of old people to get their stuff and go so you can go and pay things and whatnot. And this is okay, I already know what you're thinking. Why? Whoa, first off, right? Why is Chazzy imitating Jim Carrey? What's going on? Whoa, he's my national hero. No, Jim Carrey does the wait. But anyway, so why am I talking about lines? Because I have already done this video like many years ago. It's one of the very first videos I ever did for my channel, and I thought that it would be a prime opportunity to remake it now and talk a little bit about it, because lately I've been remaking a bunch of videos because I'm running out of ideas, guys. Please forgive me for giving you such, horrendous content sometimes with these concept vlogs where I just come and talk about a random topic that is really boring and dull. But still, maybe, just maybe, you will find something entertaining here because you might relate to me or maybe not, or hopefully I will make you become thoughtful about the topic, Waiting in lines. It's a very underrated thing to hate, because a lot of people really underestimate how truly and horrifically painful it is for you to wait in a line for something to happen, I have actually been, we live in a modern era where many things can be done digitally, You can pay bills online, you can buy stuff online like clothes or food and other miscellaneous items, You can buy whatever the hell it is you need online nowadays and have it delivered right to your doorstep, even food. So it's very unnecessary for you to wait around in a line for something, but we will face this, at some point in our lives. The younger generation might not know what this is like, like me back in the day when I was like, I don't know, maybe 10 or so years ago, maybe a little less, I still had to wait in line to pay certain bills, at this thing that here in Brazil we call a lotérica. It's not a lottery, but it's a place where you go to pay your bills physically, and with the rise of banking apps, we can pay our bills remotely using our phones now, so you literally don't even have to leave your house anymore, and it feels really good. There's even this thing here where I live in Sao Paulo where you can actually download an app for the supermarket and actually buy something remotely, and somebody will deliver your groceries to your door, of course for an added fee, which is so expensive that it's better for you to actually go to the market yourself and pay for parking, But the point is that, and the world is becoming much more advanced digitally, so we don't really need to face this line thing anymore. But the problem is that there are many senior citizens who have not embraced the technology yet, They've been doing something the same way for pretty much their entire lives, and they have not gotten used to the advancements of modern society, so they continue to go about their lives in the old way that they're used to. So that's why we see a lot more elderly waiting in line to do things. And whenever I'm stuck behind somebody who's elderly in the line, no matter what the reason is, where we are, what store, what they're buying, for what reason, I always get pissed. I get very angry because old people take long to do things, man. I understand that we're supposed to have patience and respect the elderly because they're not as, how can I say, they're not as street smart as us when it comes to technology or how the world is today. But it gets very annoying because sometimes it feels like they take so long on purpose. This is somewhat of an indirect callback to this video here that I recorded last year talking about the elderly and how being old doesn't make you wise and whatnot. You can go watch that later. But essentially, I understand that it can be disrespectful for you to, assume that all elderly are this way, But you have to be honest with yourself, Be real. Let's be real for a second. A lot of them are slow. And not just physically slow, but they will take forever to pay a simple bill in a bank or something, Whenever I have to go inside of a bank to do something and I see that there are elderly in front of me in line, I get so pissed, man, because I know that each one of them is going to take hours to figure out what they have to do and actually get it done, there are some people who actually take advantage of this, on the other end of the spectrum. Like, you'll be a salesman and you're trying to sell something to an elderly person and they're going to fall for it, there are douches out there who take advantage of this, they're naiveness. But the problem is that sometimes when you're waiting in line for something and there's an old person in front of you, it takes so freaking long, man, especially when they're buying groceries at the supermarket, and then there's no self-checkout lane, so they are slowly and meticulously putting their hundreds of items on the tray or the table or the conveyor belt, whatever, so that the person can pay. Then they're gonna scan all the items. Then the old person is gonna fumble with their wallet, and they never use a debit card or a credit card. They always pay with money, so they have to take it out and see how much the groceries are, and then filter out the money and get the change. You know, it's so freaking annoying, man. I hate it. And there is a supermarket that I go to here in my city that has a self-checkout lane, which is the best invention that this city has ever come up with, you know, where I just get my stuff and go and I scan it, you know, and then get my stuff and just go. But whenever I see an old person trying to figure that out, like, there are people who are empathetic and will go and try to help them. I get pissed because I know that they're gonna take forever, but if I can, of course, go and help. But usually I don't help so they can figure it out. I help so they can go faster, you know. Holy crap, man. I'm sorry if that makes me come off as a douche or an a-hole, but I'm just saying, you know, like, I am a very impatient person. I literally talked about this in this video here, you know, very recently, I think a few uploads ago, where I talked about patience, you know. But there are many moments in life where I feel like I am actually impatient, you know, and this is one of them. It's one of the things that really tests me, you know. I'm not entirely sure what I covered the first time that I did this video many years ago. I was wearing a white shirt. It's not the same as I'm wearing today, but it's kind of like a soft reboot, let's say. But the title of that video was still listed this day, waiting in lines as hell. No, I'm not sure if I'm gonna title this video the same thing and then change that one, but the point is that it's really annoying, you know. But essentially, if you really stop to think about it, how much time do we really waste of our lives waiting in lines for something to happen? How many times have you, not even just this past year, maybe take a look at just the past year in 2022, how many minutes or hours summed up all together have you spent in line waiting for something to happen? I mean, it's time that could be spent doing something else. Of course, you can be on your phone doing something productive, you know, or even reading a book or something, or studying, but just the act of waiting there, God, it aggravates me so much. Sometimes I literally start to shake, man, especially if I'm in a rush. If I'm in a rush and I'm in a line waiting for something, oh my God, freaking bullet for my Valentine. Temper, time to explode. You know, it's funny, just the act of talking about waiting in a line is making me itch. It's making me kind of freaking nervous, you know. I really hate it so much, man, you know. I really wonder what your guys' opinions are gonna be about this. The same as my patience video. Like, how are you guys? Like, are you patient? Are you impatient? Do you normally wait to do things? Do you, like, how exactly do you behave when you're in a line? I understand that if you're not in a rush, waiting in a line might not be as egregious, but to me it is. Because even if I'm not in a rush to do something, in my head it's like, man, like whenever I wait in line for something, I get this thing in my head. It's like a mathematical equation. Like, if I wait in a line for 30 minutes, I'm gonna be like, bro, I could have done this 30 minutes ago. Or if I wait in a line for an hour, wow, I could have done this an hour ago. I always feel like I'm gonna sneeze. Yeah. I always calculate how much quicker this could have gone if the person in front of me hadn't taken so long, if they had gone faster, you know. I could be anywhere else doing something else, you know. I hate wasting time. Time is the most precious thing that humanity has, you know. Like, we always think about, like, when you think about what's the most important thing in the world, you're probably gonna say, oh, love, friendships, my family, you know, my kids if you have any, my parents, my girlfriend, my wife, my husband and boyfriend, whatever, you know, my job, my health, you know. But all of that is wrong. The most important thing that a human being can have is time. That it's a very underrated thing that a lot of people take for granted, you know. You don't know how valuable it is until it's gone, you know. Like, you spend a lot of time with somebody. Like, for example, you have a good relationship with one of your parents or maybe a sibling or something, or your best friend, and you guys hang out a lot, you know, you really do a lot of stuff together, but you actually don't realize how much you take them for granted until they're gone. Whether you guys just stop being friends, you drift apart, or God forbid they pass away or something, you know. And then it's like, man, I wish I had more time. We always say this, I wish I had more time with that person, even though we had a lot of time with them until they passed, you know. But still, it's crazy, man, if you really stop to think about it, you know. Time is literally the most valuable thing that we have on this planet, and a lot of people do squander it. A lot of people don't care and they just kind of leave it as it is, you know. But I personally think that it's the most important thing that we have, and that's why we should work to value it more. And waiting in lines is a very, very bad way to not value the time that we have. You know, it's a waste of time. I hate wasting things, whether it's resources, food, money, and especially time. You know, I don't like wasting the things that I have, especially those that are most precious to me. So waiting in lines is a literal hell on earth. You know, I hate it so much, and I'm all for the technology advance to the point where we don't even really need people anymore to do certain things. You know, if robots do eventually take over the world and we don't even have to wait in lines anymore, that would be awesome. But still, a lot of people would lose their jobs. So yeah, pros and cons there. You know, however you wanna look at it. But still, I think I've covered the topic. You know, this is gonna be a pretty short concept vlog. Maybe it will barely peak at the 10-minute mark. But I just wanted to share my opinions with you guys here. You know, in a very like different, lighthearted, crazy, funny way, perhaps. You know. And it is, ow, my leg, ow. I hit myself a little bit harder than I thought I would. That's what she said. So anyway, guys, let me know in the comments about what you think about this, you know, and what your opinions are about waiting and whatnot. You know, maybe I'll do another video later talking about the concept of time and how I feel like it is important to us and whatnot. And that's it for now. Let me know in the comments below what your opinions are. And if you happen to like this video, please go ahead and give it a like and also subscribe to my channel because I release videos every single day. And while you're at it, hit the notification bell too so you can know exactly what time I upload it. That's also important. And this is Chazzy signing out for now. And as always, I will see you guys in the next video. Roll the outro screen without having to wait in line for it.